Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hour of Devastation box opening. A little different from my modern slash standard brews videos, but I think I'm gonna start trying to do a box opening for every new set. So we'll start with Hour of Devastation, see how it goes, and if you guys like the content, I'll be more than happy to do box opening videos every time a set comes out. So let's go ahead and get started. Crack this bad boy open. I'm pretty excited for Hour of Devastation. There's some really cool cards in it that I don't know if they're gonna see a ton of like standard play, but I'm excited for some cube cards like Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, who actually he just did pretty good in the most recent tournament, the most recent Star City. Uh, Nicol Bolas made an appearance in the finals, so that was kind of cool. I'm pretty excited for that card. Hopefully we can open one. Um, there's some other cool cards, but let's just get started and we'll talk about them as we crack them. All right, first pack. See what we got here. All right, Aerial Guide, Act of Heroism, uh, Kenra Scrapper, Carrion Screecher, Rampaging Hippo, Frilled Sandwalla, Seer of the Last Tomorrow, Desert of the Fervent, God Pharaoh's Faithful, and Feral Prowler for our commons. We have a Gideon's Defeat. The defeat cycle is interesting. I think they're going to be pretty relevant in standard. Liliana's especially good. Might be able to see some modern play, but it's cool to have a on-color hate cycle going on. Unraveling Mummy. This card also I think is pretty playable. Might see some standard action if the mono black zombie deck moves back towards black white. I could see this guy making an appearance. Uh, Tenacious Hunter. It's a good limited card. And we have Grind to Dust for our rare. Put a -1/-1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. And then it's Aftermath. Let me get that in here. Exile any number of target creatures that have -1/-1 counters on it. That's interesting. We got a Swamp and a Token. I'm going to go through the packs pretty quickly. That's kind of just like an intro one. I'll probably do skip to the uncommons and rares for everything, and we can discuss those. Um, I don't want to go through every single comment in every pack because we're going to get a lot of repeats. Alright, let's see what we got. Skip to the back. We have Sinius Striker for our uncommons, River Hopo. This is like one of my favorite cards in the set. Pretty excited for it. We have Ranup Ruins. One of the deserts. These are all pretty good, especially in limited. They might see some standard play too. I think they're all decent. The black one especially is a removal spell. And we got a Dream Stealer. This guy's pretty cool. I've seen him getting some play. I think it's a good card. It makes players discard cards. When it deals damage to a player, they discard that many cards equal to its combat damage. So, like when you eternalize it, it gets significantly better. And ooh, got a cat token. Kind of wanted to see some new cat tokens and stuff in the hour, but they just did Amonkhet ones, which is fine. But I would have liked to see some new stuff. That Tragic Lesson over there too. That card is the art on that is awesome. All right, skip. Another Striker. Appeal to Authority. a Dagger of the Worthy, and we got an Hour of Promise. Another cool card. Pretty viable in EDH, I would think. You can search for 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield, tapped, and that's any land. Then it has a little extra clause that if you control 3 or more deserts, you get to make a 2/2. But I think mainly for EDH players, they're going to be pretty excited to search up some non-basic lands, put them into play. That's a powerful effect. It's one of the reasons why like Primeval Titan is not legal in EDH, because you can just fetch the non-basics utility lands out of your deck. My camera not having a good time focusing here. This is the first time I tried to set up a box opening camera thing, so we can improve upon that as we continue these. Alright, let's see what we got. We got the Accursed Horde, really decent limited pickup. Couple medium uncommon cards, I'd say. And we opened a Refuse to Cooperate. Refuse deals damage to target spell. Refuse deals damage to target spell's controller equal to that spell's converted mana cost. Interesting. Then it has the aftermath of copy target instant or sorcery spell. Choose new copies as it normally is for that. Got a full art island here. Pretty cool. Ooh, we got a horse token for that horse lord if we open it. It's pretty nice art on this actually. It's pretty. It's got the Bolas like plains landscape in the background there. I like that a lot. Alright, let's keep it rolling. I hope we open an expedition, or not expedition, Masterpiece series, the Invocations. Some checklist card there, or punch out card, whatever you want to call it. Hollow One. This card has been talked about quite a bit in Modern as possibly being played in Living End. It's pretty cool. It's a cycler, but it's a 2-mana cycler, which is kind of its downside, I think. But it costs 2 less to cast for each card cycled that turn, and it's a 4/4 for 5. So you could potentially cycle 2 cards, just cast this for 1 mana. I think it has some potential, but I'm not quite sure. The Living End got a bunch of decent cards recently, so whether or not this guy makes the cut, I'm not positive. Got an Overcome for uncommons. Claim to Fame. This card I think is worth a couple bucks. Expect to see some modern play in Death Shadow decks, which makes a lot of sense. It brings back Death Shadow, brings back Snapcaster Mages. It's pretty decent. And we got a Stewardess or Solidarity for our other uncommon. This would be a pick one in limited. This card's very powerful. Just exert it to make 1/1s. And Hollow One not super impressive, so I would likely take that guy in draft. I'm gonna try to adjust a little bit. See if that works better for us. Okay. Skip to the back. Ooh, Hour of Eternity. We got an Inferno Jet, Vizier of True, and a Crypt of the Eternals for uncommons. Not a lot of great uncommons there. Hour of Eternity is an interesting card. Exile X target creatures from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, you get a token of the card. So it's except it's a 4/4 black zombie. So it's pretty costly. If you see there, triple blue, double X. I don't foresee this seeing any play, but maybe. We'll see. We'll have to see if it maybe makes EDH deck or something. And a combatant token. All right. So far, these are my 2 favorite cards. Not even the rares. I like the Hopo a lot, and I like Claim to Fame. Couple uncommons there for us. that we will more than happily, I'll probably put both, if not one of these, into my cube, and kind of want to try to play River Hobo in Standard, but we'll see how it goes. If anyone has any brews out there with the Hobo, let me know, because I'm certainly interested. Alright, let's skip everything, go straight to that rare. We got Hazoret's Undying Fury. Shuffle your library, then exile the top 4 cards. You may cast any number of non-land cards with converted mana cost 5 or less from among them without paying the mana cost. And it's part of the cycle where your lands don't untap afterwards. This is 6 mana. So I like this cycle. I think this might be the weakest one in it, but it's also a very powerful effect. But if you cast this and you, like, for some reason whiff, and then you don't get to untap your lands afterwards, you're in rough shape. And so I don't really foresee this seeing much play. Somebody did tell me it was decent for them in limited. They opened it in their sealed pool or something, but I'm not super impressed with this card. We also got a Plains. I love the art on the full arts. Let's talk about that for a second. I really like what they did. Like they gave us full arts in Amonkhet, and then they kind of like made them darker in Hour of Devastation to kind of show the devastation. There's one that has like a river of blood. I think it's the island. That one's really sweet. But they all look really cool foil too. Maybe we'll open one. Got a soldier token. Lots of tokens in this set, just like there was in Amonkhet, because of all the Eternalize and Bomb, plus the general token makers that we see in all sets. Alright, for our rare, we have another one of the cycle, the don't untap your lands cycle. This is the control magic version of that. So you gain control of target artifact, creature, or enchantment. A little bit better than control magic, I guess. You can take artifacts and enchantments with it as well. But then your lands don't untap. So this one, I think, has some potential. Maybe in like cubes and stuff. We've seen like control magic effects be very powerful in cubes and in EDH. The fact that you can steal additional things besides creatures with this makes it a little more viable. But again, that lands don't untap clause is a big price to pay. So you're going to have to be careful with this card. It's not something you're going to want to cast on turn 4. You're going to want to cast it on like turn 6 to 8 when you can still keep mana up for additional things. But so you kind of have to look at it as like a 6-drop, right? Gain control. But in a pinch, you can use it. The other thing that's cool about this is it's not an enchant creature, so your opponent can't just like answer it with like a disenchant effect. It's actually you just gain control of the target, so you don't have to enchant it, which is also pretty cool, and another reason why I think it might make some cubes or EDH decks. This is a pretty heavy EDH set in my opinion. There didn't look like there was a ton for standard / modern, but EDH players seem to have got a lot of cool cards. So this Sphinx is very good. I would first pick that guy in limited for sure. And we got a farm to market, some commons randomly. Did we get a full art? No, we did not. So we did get a zombie token though. Alright, keep it coming. We haven't opened any mythics yet, so hopefully we get some of those soon. God Pharaoh's Gift. Alright, at the beginning of your combat turn, at the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, it's a copy of that card, except the 4/4 black zombie. Okay, so not very good. 7 mana for this thing. Kind of seems a little weak in my opinion. I don't foresee this seeing much play. And you would think with a name like God Pharaoh's Gift would be pretty sweet, but I could be completely wrong. If I am, definitely let me know. But Maybe EDH players want this, but I don't foresee this seeing much play. No full art, and we got another punch out token card for all of our exerted and internalized creatures, and -1/-1 counters, and brick counters. There's another one, actually. Full art forest. Sweet, sweet. Okay, our first mythic here. The demon. People are talking about this quite a bit. It is a 8/8 for 9. Yep. 6, 7, 8. Or for 8. 8/8 for 8. Okay. So 8/8 for 8, flying, trample, pay 2 life, you can tutor, right? Yep. Sacrifice another creature, and then search your library for a card. Alright, so I'm not super impressed with this guy, but a lot of people are talking about it. I think it's pretty cube worthy, probably EDH worthy once again. As far as like standard modern play, I don't foresee it. I don't think it will replace Gristlebrand or anything in like legacy decks. So I don't foresee this guy seeing a ton of constructed play outside of EDH, Commander, and cube drafts. But yeah, he's cool. It is our first mythic. We'll set that over here with our other cool cards. Got a Jace's Defeat. This one I think is going to see some standard play for sure. You know, people like to hate on blue, so control decks are pretty popular right now, and you know, being able to counter a target blue spell is decent. And Jace sees a little bit of play in standard, so might be able to at some point get that Scry 2 in. Certainly not a limited pickup though. This cycle is not very good in limited. The Dunes is decent, the Driver is decent, but actually probably might have taken the Demon out of this pack if I were drafting it, because everything else is pretty medium. Though the Demon would be very difficult to cast in limited environments. If you got to him though, you'd be in good shape, especially because you probably would have some other creatures out, so you'd be able to start tutoring for things if they did have an answer. Alright, let's see what we got. It's no full arts. Oh, this guy's very good. Okay, so this is Crucible Worlds on body. It's a 2/3 for 3. And you can play land cards from your graveyard. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. And another one that's like a commander player's dream, and maybe we'll see him pop up in Modern or Legacy. We see Crucible Worlds getting utilized in those formats a decent amount. So Crucible on a creature, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like when they made like Magus of the Moon, and we got to have like Blood Moon on a creature. This very much reminds me of that. So this guy's sweet. We're gonna put him in our sweet pile. We got Torment the Scarabs, Hope Tender, and haha! On our way to a playset for Hopos. Hoopos. I'm not really sure how to say it. I'll have to look that pronunciation up so I don't keep on mispronouncing the river Hoopo. I'm gonna say it's Hoopo. Love that card though. Actually, it was very good for me in one of my draft decks too. My opponent had the creature that can make a two power creature unblockable, and I was at a relatively low life, so they could just keep chipping me for 2. But the fact that Hoopo over here gains you 2 life, it didn't make a difference. So I got to generate card advantage by drawing cards, plus I got to negate the life loss from the other guy. This token that we just pulled in the back of this pack is so sweet looking. Look at that guy. That's some awesome art. All right, what else we got? Looks like we have a Digeru, I think, with eyes open. This name reminds me of a Kamigawa card. Let's not go down that road, please. Okay, what's this guy do? Vigilance. When he enters the battlefield, search your library for a Planeswalker card. reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. If a source would deal damage to a planeswalker you control, prevent one of that damage. And he's a 4/3 for 5. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Again, EDH players around the world going to enjoy this one, I'm sure. He gets to tutor for planeswalkers, so that's insane. It is a 5-drop. I don't know about standard play, but yeah, a tutor for planeswalkers seems pretty cool. And then a little upside of to protect them a little bit, as well as a 4/3 vigilance body for 5. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. He's a legendary creature. Want to look up this guy and see what he's up to in the storylines. He must be playing some kind of important part, but I don't really follow the stories. So if anybody knows, let me know what this guy's up to, because he seems to be like summoning the Gatewatch or something, something to that effect. This is the Black Desert that I was talking about. That's pretty sweet. It's a removal spell of -2/-2, 2 -1/-1 counters basically. This guy's also very good. What I didn't realize when I first played with this card is that it actually can pump other creatures, so be aware of that. Its target creature gets +2/+2 and ends their turn. At first I just thought it was him, but yeah, it just makes combat very, very good in your favor if you have untapped mana. And another Cursed Horde, which we talked about a little bit. It's another decent limited pickup. Okay. Let's see here. Alright. This guy's cool. It's like a Factor Fiction Sphinx. And it also makes Sphinx spells cost 2 less, which I don't think is super relevant, but hey, who knows? Tribal Sphinx, right? But yeah, whenever you cast him, or whenever they enter the battlefield, not cast. So whenever he enters the battlefield, or another Sphinx enters the battlefield you control, you reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Opponent separates those into 2 piles, put 1 into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So pretty close to Factor Fiction, -1 card on a 4/4 flyer for 6. Pretty good. And then any additional Sphinx you cast after that do the same thing, and they cost 2 less. So that's an interesting card. Expect to see that one in some commander decks too. And we picked up some medium uncommons. Nothing spectacular. I hope I open a complete playset of Hoopos. If I open a complete playset of Hoopos this week, next week I will do a standard video that features the Hoopos. How about that? It is an uncommon. We're already at 2, so if we get to 4, we're going to do a brew, a nice Hoopo brew in standard, maybe even modern. Apocalypse Demon. So I don't really like this card. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you have to tap it unless you sacrifice another creature. So it doesn't seem great to me. I've seen it in limited and I've passed it. I don't really think it has a home anywhere, but maybe. I don't generally like cards like this where you have to pay some kind of upkeep cost for them, especially when it's sacrificing a creature. That doesn't seem feasible, and it's either that or you gotta tap him, and then he's kind of useless, right? He can't block, he can't attack, so I don't love that card. We got another Full Art Swamp, which is pretty cool. And any Hoopos? Hoopos? No Hoopos. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the Hoopos. Alright. Next pack. And let's get that on here. And foily, huh? So foil camel. This guy's good and limited, but you know, not too happy with it. Man, that foiling on that. The camera doesn't pick it up like at all, and it just barely looks foil. Very plain looking card. We got Rona's Last Stand. So third card in the cycle of lands don't untap. I think this one might be a little bit better than the other ones. 5/4 for 2. It's pretty powerful, but with cards like Fatal Push floating around and Standard, don't know how realistic it is to play a card like this. But in Limited, I think it's decent. 2 mana 5/4. It's very powerful. And as Standard adjusts and stuff, maybe it'll see some play. See if we got a Hoopo. We did not. This guy, very good pickup in Limited. It's kind of like a Flame Tongue Kabu, but you have to control a desert, and it's only 3 damage. 3/3 for 4. Very nice card. All right, then moving on. Nothing too spectacular yet. We'll see. We still got a ways to go here. Next pack. Alright, well, this is one of the few certainly modern playable cards that are coming out of Hour of Devastation. There might be some sleepers that we don't know about yet, but this one I think we can be positive that we will see in modern. We'll see it in sideboards. We'll see it comboing with blanking on the name, but the card that makes it so you have to get infect counters in order to win, or in order to lose. They kind of lock your opponent out of killing you if they're both on the battlefield, because you can't get counters. But yeah, 3 mana enchantment. Players can't get counters, and counters can't be placed on artifact, creatures, enchantments, or lands. So pretty cool. Stops infect. Like I said, I think we'll see it in some sideboards, possibly. And it's definitely a combo piece. Look out for it. If somebody casts this main deck against you, you can expect some sort of combo that's gonna lock you out of the game. So definitely be aware of that if you see this card come down. Hoopo? No Hoopo. Got another Jace's Defeat though. Alright, next pack. See here. Full art. Alright, Reason to Believe. Another card that's being talked about a little bit. For 1 blue, scry 3. And then the aftermath for 5 is you look at the top card of your library and you can put it into the battlefield if it's a creature card. So essentially for 6 mana on 1 turn, you can scry 3, look for a creature there, hopefully find one. If not, push all at the bottom, and then reveal. And if Believe hits a creature, it puts it into play. And if it doesn't hit a creature, it puts it into your hand. So the card at least replaces itself. And you can fire off the Reason earlier just to get the scry value. But I think it's a cool card. I'm not sure where it fits in, but it's another card that I would like to play. Maybe we could try to play it in our Hoopo deck, because it is the colors. We'll have to see. Speaking of which, did we get a Hoopo? We did not. I'm going to pull both of these aside, though. I think Reason to Believe is a pretty cool card, and Liliana's Defeat, like I said, I think is the best in the defeat cycle as far as getting more constructed play goes. I think Jace's will see quite a bit because Gainsay is very popular, but Liliana's Defeat in Modern seems reasonable for a sideboard card, so we'll see what it does. Okay, we got another Punch-Out card. No full art. Ooh, shiny. Okay. So a foil Scavenger Grounds. Sacrifice a desert, exile all cards from all graveyards. Interesting. Another graveyard hate card. Might see some standard play if the deserts start getting played, because there are some graveyard strategies. There's Delirium. There's Madness deck has like the prized amalgams and stuff like that. So this might be a good utility card in standard, but I'm not positive yet. You don't need to actually play additional deserts because you can just sack itself. So it's good to have. It's a good graveyard hate card that you don't really have to commit too much to because it's also a land. So and colorless land can cast Eldrazi and modern and stuff. Might see some play. Might see some play. We got Driven to Despair. Not sure what this one does. Let's read it real quick. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and whenever they deal damage to a player, you draw a card, and then the aftermath is creatures you control gain menace and deals combat damage to a player. That player discards a card. Okay. So 6 mana into a bunch of attackers seems pretty good. Give all your creatures menace, and then whenever they deal damage to the player, you draw and they discard. That's pretty powerful for 4 mana. So yeah, they're both 2 mana. I think this card's reasonably playable, especially in limited. But I would like to see this in a constructed deck too. This seems sweet. Let's see if we got the Hoopo. We did not. Farm to Market is a decent one. It's a removal spell for limited. Let's see here. Next pack. Checklist. I keep calling them checklist cards, but they're actually punch-out cards. Torment of Hailfire. So, interesting card. Gives your opponent a choice, but usually none of the choices are good at the time you want to be casting this. So, they either lose the game or they have to discard cards and sacrifice permanents. Sometimes if they don't have permanents to enough permanents to sacrifice or cards to discard, then this can just be like a fireball effect, and they just lose the game because they lose 3 life. You can pay X, and then they repeat the following process X times. They either lose 3 life, sacrifice a permanent, or discard a card. So I played it in limited a little bit. I only got to cast it once, and it wasn't great for me because my opponent had like a Manalith and card in hand that they didn't really need, and I got casted for like X equals 4, but it didn't really generate enough value for me to win the game. I think it was a situation where they could like discard a card that they didn't really need, sacrifice their Manalith, and take 6, and it just wasn't enough for me to get there. But that being said, I've also seen other players cast it in limited and have it be insane, so I think it's very good. I've actually seen somebody splash for it because they thought it was that good, even though it's double black. So that's interesting. Interesting to hear about how people rank this card in limited. As far as constructed play goes, I would love to see this in a deck. I think it's really cool. It's a cool concept for a card design. No Hoopo. So sad. You could still get there, though. And let's be honest, there's a chance I'll play the deck anyway, right? I just love the card too much, so. Alright, what else we got? Another cat token. There's a full art. Ooh, another foily. It's an uncommon. It's an equipment that gives +2/+0 and afflict 1. Cast 2, equip 2. It's alright. And we got Fray Insanity. Okay, this card. This card was a little bit of a sleeper. Ooh, Supreme Will. I'm going to pull that out. We can talk about that after. We got another one of the cool black removal lands, but Fray Insanity. So this card been selling quite good, and I don't think people really realized that it was going to be popular at first. It enchants a player, and then at the beginning of each end step, an enchanted player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his graveyard, where X is the number of cards put into that graveyard from anywhere this turn. So you can combo this with like Glimpse the Unthinkable and mill the opponent for 20 for 1 glimpse. And it makes like Thought Scours insane. Like it makes them mill for 4. It's just a very interesting card. Whether or not it makes mill viable in any format, I'm not sure. But that remains to be seen. People seem to really like it, so hopefully we're going to see some good things from that. from that card. I'm going to keep it out. Supreme Will, I want to talk about in a little bit. It's the first time we saw this in our uncommons. This is either a mana leak for 3 or like an impulse for 3. So you counter target spell unless each controller plays 3, or you look at the top 4 cards of your library and put 1 into your hand and the rest on the bottom. 3 mana is a little costly, but the utility on this card is amazing. So the counterspell portion is going to be great in the early game, and the impulse dig portion is going to be great in the late game. So I think this card has a lot of potential. We're going to see it played in standard while it's in standard for the whole time, I believe. It might not be like a 4 of index, maybe like 2 to 3. But because of its utility, I think it's a very powerful card for control strategies. So I'm pretty excited about that one. Alright, next pack. Alright, there's that cool art that I like again. Or no, actually this is a different one. A lot of the tokens look cool in this set. No full arts. Ooh, alright. Let's look for Hoopo first. It's not here. We got a Chandra's Defeat. Alright, but we're gonna spend some time talking about Pride Sovereign for sure. So I bought a bunch of Regal Caracols when that card was first spoiled because I loved it so much and I thought it had so much potential. And then when Pride Sovereign got spoiled, I was like, oh sweet, like this goes perfect with the Regal Caracols. But this is a 2/2. Let's see if we can focus a little bit better there, camera. 2/2 for 3. But it gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control, and it has tap a white and tap it, and exert to create 2 1/1 cat tokens with lifelink. So if you keep this guy through an upkeep, exert it once, get some value off of it, and he becomes a 4/4 the next time he untaps, which is gonna be a turn from then because you do have to exert him to do it. But if you curve this into like 1 exert trigger and then like a Regal Caracol afterwards, that is a lot of power, a lot of lifelink for a huge swing. I'm gonna try to build a cat deck in standard and see how it goes. I want to play Pride Sovereigns and Caracols together, and I'm pretty excited for that. So love this guy. Glad to pick him up. Next pack. Okay, punch out card. Mountain, and we have we got our horse lord to go with our horse token. So this guy's cool. A 5/5 for 5 gives other horses indestructible. Not sure how relevant that is, but at the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, any amount of life, you get to create a 5/5 white horse. So it'll give the tokens that it creates indestructible, as well as just kind of like flood the board. I think it's a really cool card, and I would like to try to build a deck around this as well. It's interesting. You can only ever create, or you can't protect him because he doesn't give himself indestructible. But he's not legendary, so if you were to resolve 2 of these, you'd be making double the amount of horses, and both of your horse quote-unquote lords would be indestructible. So that's kind of like living the dream with this card, I think. But I see this guy playing some in some commander decks as well for sure, and I might put it in my cube to give him the run through, see if he's worthy, because I think it's a pretty sweet card. Got horses and cats. Where can we go wrong? Alright. I after this pack, I'm gonna do a count, see how many we got left. Let's see. Insect token. That's created by one of the gods. A locust god, I believe. Would make sense. No full art, and we got a Chaos Maw. Don't know what this card does. When Chaos Maw enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to each other creature. Alright, that's decent. And it is 6/6 for 7. Would have liked to see this like have haste. I think that would have made it a little bit better. The art on that is actually pretty cool. If my camera wants to focus on it, but it's pretty sick looking. But yeah, the wipe the board effect for when it comes into play is pretty cool, but I think it's a little overcosted for a 6/6 and that. So I would have liked to see it maybe 1 less mana or have haste in addition to what it has going on. But I don't expect to see much play. Hoopo check, not there. These are our uncommons. All right, how many packs we looking at? We got a decent amount left. Oh yeah, plenty of packs left. Let's keep it going. All right. And token island. Ketra's Last Mercy. So I think this is the 4th one we've opened for the lands don't untap cycle. So we're on pace to get all of them. This one's pretty good. Your lands don't untap, but your life total becomes your starting life total. So later in the game, put you back up to 20. I don't see how like a aggressive burn deck or something like that could possibly beat this. But you do have to pay the cost of your lands not untapping. Like I said previously, it's a pretty heavy cost to play. So we'll see what that does. No Hoopo, just their daily Hoopo check. Packly Hoopo check, I should say. I want to get a play set. Alright, next we have Hour of Devastation. Alright. And no Hoopo. Sad panda. This card's making waves in Standard for sure. A red sweeper. It also deals with planeswalkers. It's 5 mana. All creatures lose indestructible, and they take 5 damage, and also non-Bolas planeswalkers take 5 damage. So the lose indestructible clause is actually super important in the Standard right now because there's a lot of selfless spirits running around, and this card gets through that. So it's actually pretty big game for the control decks to have Hour of Devastation as their sweeper right now, so they know that when they get to that 5 mana and need to wipe the board, they don't have to worry about dealing with a selfless spirit first. So, and it's worth a little bit of money right now, I think. We'll have to look it up later, but pretty cool pickup. Hour of Devastation for our Hour of Devastation box. That is just a rare, right? Yep. Alright, so Crested Sunmare, the horse is a mythic. I think that puts us at 2 mythics, if I'm counting correctly. We got another insect token. And Nimble Obstructionist. Hoopo check, no Hoopo. So I love this card, and I think it's a little underrated. There's a lot of people who don't think it's great, or think it's medium, I should say. I'm not going to say they don't think it's good, but I think I rate this card a lot higher than most people. A 3/1 for flash and flying for 3 mana is decent to begin with, and then it has cycling for 3. But when you cycle it, you can counter target activated or triggered ability you don't control. So it's you're able to, like, in Modern, counter fetch lands, counter like Planeswalker effects and stuff like that, which is great. And traditionally we've seen cards like this uh, see a little bit of play, but the big thing that sets this one apart is it's never going to be a dead card. It's always going to be at least a 3/1 flash flying, which is good for 3 mana. And on top of that, when you do want to counter one of those activated and triggered abilities, it replaces itself because it's cycling. So you're not actually losing in a card advantage, and you're stopping your opponent from doing something big. So, like against Marvel, if that were still legal in Standard, this would have been huge. Being able to stop their Marvel spin plus replace your card would have been really, really big for control decks. But yeah, I think this card's great. So I'm going to keep it in my good pile, and I will definitely be playing that. I did a blue-white flash video recently on the site, and uh, somebody sent me an upgraded list the other day that featured the Obstructionist. I'm pretty excited to try it out in that deck, so definitely tune into the stream. I'll be playing that for sure. Well, we skipped to the old grind dust again. Already picked up one of those, so not much to talk about there, and no Hoopo. So moving on. Let's see. Let's get something sweet. Well, we got a foil hippo. Can't go wrong with a foil hippo, right? And we got abandoned. Oh, okay. This is the cycling cards. You may cast non-land cards from your with cycling from your graveyard. So kind of cool. 3 mana. Interesting artifact here. If a card with cycling we put into your graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, you have to exile it though. So you can't recast cards that you're just casting already, but you can cast them from the graveyard after cycling them instead of casting them from your hand. So I think it's pretty cool, and I think people are going to try to build around this card for sure. You get to replace all your cards in your hands by cycling them and then still casting them from your graveyard. So I think it's going to be a build around card, and I think people are going to definitely try it out, and hopefully something cool comes from that. Any Hoopos? No Hoopos. Nissa's Defeat, and the Spider is very good in limited. Appeal to Authority. Got another tragic lesson here. I love that card. Alright, how many packs left? Looks like we got 8. 8 packs to go. Hopefully some more mythics, maybe a Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh. Hopefully a Masterpiece series card, but I don't know. I'm starting to lose hope here. And Mirage Mirror. Alright. Hoopo check. Oh, we got a Supreme Will though. Okay. Mirage Mirror is a cool card. Again, Commander, gonna be all over this card. This can copy a target artifact, creature, or enchantment, or land for 2 mana, and it's an artifact that casts for 3, which is cool because you can grab it with Trophy Mage. Just something of note. I got to play this in Limited, and it was amazing. I expect it to be very good in Commander, and most decks to want it. It's just a clone effect that gets to stay on the board and keep on giving. Unfortunately, you don't get like the come into play cast trigger with this clone effect because it's a ability that's in play and it just copies the creature. But there's still a lot of great creatures and things that you can copy with it, as well as artifacts, enchantments, and lands. Like imagine your opponent has like a sword of Body and Mind or something crazy like that. Copy their sword, equip your creature. It's very, very cool. Alright, 7 to go. Got a foil Godfarrel's Gift. Again, don't like this card, but it is there. Wildfire Eternal. Whenever Wildfire Eternal attacks and isn't blocked, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. 1/4 for 4. That is Afflict 4. Okay, so if they block it, they take 4. If they don't block it, they only take 1, but you're able to cast a free spell, instant or sorcery. So, pretty cool card. I don't know if it's going to see any constructed play, but it's definitely a limited card for sure. Throw this in like a blue-red value deck with a lot of instants and sorceries. We've seen those built in Cat Limited, so I think this would be a cool addition if you get into that archetype. Any Hoopos? No Hoopos. We're running out of time to get the Hoopos and to get the Masterpiece, which arguably is more important, but I'm not sure. I think the Hoopos actually might be more important. Alright, next pack. Got another one of these. Like, they're just dying to give us the god here. Like, we are ready for him. Foil uncommon here, Hope Tender. Not bad. It's a decent card in limited. We got another mythic. I don't know how I feel about it though. And no Hoopo. Alright. Let's read this guy. His power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Not great. At the beginning of your combat, if you control a creature with flying, he gains flying, and the same is true for first strike, double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, man, there's too many mechanics now, trample, and vigilance. Okay, so cards pretty medium. Not impressed. But the art's cool, so there's that. Oh man. Oh man. 5 packs left. 5 packs. You feeling lucky? Cat token, full art. Hour of Glory. Okay. Exile target creature. If that creature was a god, its controller reveals his or her hand and exiles all cards from the same name. Somebody at work was talking about this card the other day and saying, like, why didn't they just make it like you could search their library? That would have been kind of nice, but yeah, I mean, exile target creature for 4 could be fine, depending on the meta, if exile is that important. It is instant speed, and then it does hit gods, so, and then it can hit additional copies out of their hand, but if it was search the entire library, that would have been kind of cool, I think. Additional copies out of their hand, probably not great. Most lists are probably not playing like a full set of gods anyway. They're legendary, so they probably only have 1 or 2. So the chance of them having their hand is pretty slim, but interesting card design. Hoopo, Hoopo, Hoopo. Oh no. What if we get a foil Hoopo? That just makes up for 2, right? That's just automatically the foil Hoopo is just 2. Alright. Lucky. Ooh, well. Hoopo check first. Nope. Adorned Pouncer. Alright, so that's another cat that's going to be going in my cat deck for sure. So, leaning towards building that soon. 1/1 double striker for 2. Not great. But then it has Eternalize for 5. So it'll come back as a 4/4, which is pretty good. 4/4 double striker is no joke. And if we have like Regal Caracol out or the other guy, I guess just Regal Caracol would be the buff for this guy. But even as a 2-drop, 2/2 double striker with lifelink, if we have Caracol out, is pretty decent. So I'm excited to give the Pouncer a try. Yeah, he's gonna go in the worthy pile. Last 3 packs. We got a Nicol Bolas, a Samet, and I'm not even sure what that card is. So we're gonna lead with that. We're gonna end with Godfarrel pack. We got another foil. It is not Hoopo. Just common. Seer of the Last Tomorrow. Not a great card. It's fine. And we have Hour of Revelation. Costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield, and you destroy all non-land permanents. So potentially could cast this for a 3 mana sweeper. Destroys all non-land permanents, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We don't expect it to do much if we have Hour of Devastation anyway. Hour of Devastation kind of gets that job done just as well for a little more efficiently, and like I said on it before, the lose indestructible clause is huge on that card. Hoopo, Hoopo, Hoopo. Oh man, only 2 packs left, so they both either need to have Hoopo or a foil Hoopo. You guys are going to enjoy watching me open boxes because I have the worst luck in the history of opening packs, I'm pretty sure. So you're going to have a good time watching me rage at some point, I'm sure. Cat, and no Hoopo. Alright, we got the old Jackal Wizard. Alright. Resilient Kenra. When he enters the battlefield, you may have target creature get +X/+X until end of turn where X is its power, so 2/2, or eternalize it for 4/4. So 2/2 for 2. Pumps a guy when it comes in. It's decent. Has eternalize. You get extra value off it later. Eternalizes for 6. Comes in as a 4/4. Pumps a guy for 4. Not bad. Not bad at all. I could see that seeing some play. Mountain and a cat. Alright, last pack. So, I'm never lucky. So, I'm guessing no Masterpiece, no Foil Hoopo, and probably not even a Mythic. I don't even know how many Mythics I opened. I think 3 or 4. But this box, overall, gonna go ahead and rate it a 4 out of 10. That might even be generous. Wasn't the best for me, but we did open a pretty sweet box on stream, so I can't complain. We got to open a Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh on there and a No Mercy Masterpiece, so definitely check that out. That was a fun time. But yeah, let's have it for the last pack for my box opening video. We're gonna slow roll it. We got an Aven Reed Stalker, an Act of Heroism, a Puncturing Blow, Marauding Bone Slasher, a Bitterbow Sharpshooters, Wretched Camel, look at that guy, a Granic Titan, alright, not as good as Titans I've seen in the past, that's for sure. Desert of Indomitable. I didn't talk about the cycling deserts at all. I think they're very good if people are going to start utilizing the abilities on deserts or cards that utilize having deserts in play or in your graveyard. I wish they cycled for 1, then they would be really good, I think. But they're still decent. If you're gonna build a deck around deserts, you're gonna want to have some number of those. Here's that Seer from the last Tomorrow. We got a foil of this guy. We have the Oasis. This is probably my second favorite uncommon desert in the set. Gives a creature +3/+3. I like this one. I like the black one a lot. Should be noted though that some of them are sorcery speed, some of them are instant speed. So make sure you're reading your cards before you go to play with them, because it makes a huge difference. This is a tutor that's in the set that also cycles. It's Diabolic Tutor for 1 more, but it has cycling for black. Not bad. Desert's Hold. Alright. Alright, well, I guess it's fitting that we finished the cycle of things don't untap because that seems like the theme of this box. We have finished the cycle. This is Bantu's Last Reckoning. This is a destroy all creatures effect, and your lands do not untap. Once again, I've said it 4 other times, so I'll say it a 5th. The lands don't untap clause is a pretty big price to pay, so be careful with that. But this is one of the stronger ones for sure. So interested to see if this is gonna see any play. Foil Swamp, Full Art Forest, and our token, and that's gonna be a wrap. So, like I said, I think I'd still rate this box a 4 out of 10. I might even go a little bit lower with that. Box was pretty poor, but we opened up the sweet box on stream. Hopefully, you guys had an opportunity to check that out as well, because it was much more exciting than this one. That being said, I still had a fun time, and I want to thank you all for watching. Let me put up my end spiel here. Let's see. There we go. There we go. That should do it. No. Alright, well, my thing's broken, so I can't put that up. But at any rate, thank you all for watching. Super fun. I'm going to work on how I set up the box openings. Any kind of feedback you can give me in regards to that would be great. And hopefully going to do a box opening for each set. This was cool, and I enjoy talking about the cards and in limited and constructed and seeing what people are interested in versus what I'm interested in trying to play. So be sure to check out the stream. It's up in the top corner there, twitch.tv/DCMDame. Come hang out on the stream. We did a box opening the other day, did a giveaway, which was sweet. We going to be playing some Modern coming up, some Standard I want to get back into. Kind of waiting for the dust to settle a little bit and see what people are going to be playing before I start my brewing, but should be a good time, and be drafting Hour of Devastation pretty much the whole time it's out as well. So if you want to see any of that, come hang out, and thank you very much for watching.